It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. Not that. Let's see. Oh, no, that's not it. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? There it is. Okay, just relax. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. You guys remember that song? I love that song. Everything's fine. I can't remember who sang it. So it seems like Alanis Morissette, but I know that's not right. Let's see. What does this say here? Oh. Let's see. So, I have been talking about sedition for the last couple of days because it keeps coming up in the news. Let's see. William Barr accused. Let's see. I think. Some high officials are accusing scientists working, authorities working on the COVID-19 issue with accusing them of sedition, right? And so I was talking about that, and then something more about sedition yesterday, and then today it's William Barr, the Attorney General, wants to charge protesters with sedition. And I want to be, clear about what sedition is, because it's something that hold on just a sec. It's something that again, I love doing. I love committing acts of sedition, and I do them every day as publicly as possible. And I challenge the Attorney General to fucking come after me, you fat ass, nobody, piece of garbage. Let's see. Conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authority of the state or monarchy. That's the Google definition of sedition. Conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against authority of the state. Sound familiar? And somehow I didn't know that was like something you could be charged with, right? I did not know that was like a crime. I mean, I remember in the movie V for Vendetta, the dictator guy, the prime minister, he was like saying that he wanted anyone who mentioned anything about this book to be charged with sedition, which it was a journal from the death camp, and he didn't want people talking about it, because that's what the whole story is about. And it's all about this. I'm telling you, if you have not watched the movie V for Vendetta, you are missing out. And if you watch it now, it's very timely, and it's very much all about what's going on now. So I highly recommend the movie V for Vendetta if you have not seen it. Let's see. Does the sound okay? I don't have a producer right now, so I don't know if it sounds okay or not. Does it sound okay? Well, Google says it's a little different, but does it sound okay, Wilco? Because I don't have Craig here right now, so I don't have a sound check. Thank you. Thanks, Red. Okay, so let's see. Where were we? Again, sedition. And then today, Barr, Attorney General Barr is saying that he wants to charge protesters with sedition. Okay? And I haven't heard of any of this. I hope he does charge protesters with sedition. I hope, because it will go all the way to the Supreme Court. And I cannot stand these people anymore. Attorney General William Barr's father, Attorney General William Barr, the way I understand it, was Jeffrey Epstein's lawyer for a little while. Number one, you should know. Number two, Attorney General William Barr's father hired Jeffrey Epstein at a very exclusive prep school, with Jeffrey Epstein having no college degrees at all whatsoever, to teach math at a very exclusive, basically a high school filled with nubiles and Jeffrey Epstein, and guess who, and with no college credits at all to be a math instructor, guess who hired him? Attorney General William Barr's father. Why would you do something like that? Maybe because you're part of the club? Huh? So never forget the kind of scum the Attorney General William Barr is, and that Donald Trump surrounds himself with. Okay? Donald Trump has zero respect for you. I've said this from the beginning. The reason that I say that is because Donald Trump looks into the camera every single day and says things like, I don't know anything about Julian Assange. Because he thinks you're stupid. Because he has zero respect for you to think, well, why would he say something like that after talking about how much he loved WikiLeaks all through 2016? We love WikiLeaks so much. Right? Because he has zero respect for you. Because he believes that you have the attention span of a hummingbird. You can't remember what happened, what he said, what words came out of his mouth. Donald Trump is pure scum. And anyone who votes for him is selling out all of their integrity to act as if they have any whatsoever. And the same thing goes for Joe Biden. If you vote for Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, I understand why you voted for Donald Trump originally. Now, see the facts. Okay? He wants to I have a video here that says that people were asking about if they can use a heat ray on the protesters, like the thumbnail from today's video, from this live show. They want to know if they can use a heat ray on protesters. Okay, like it's a microwave thing. It shoots a beam. It can shoot a wave, and it hurts. And the army doesn't want to use it here or in the battlefield, because it's scary shit. And I don't think they have, real good grasp on exactly what it does. But still, they continue to say, oh, can we use that on protesters? Because that's what we think of Americans in this country. They should be gunned down in the street with fucking futuristic weapons. The most futuristic weapons that we have. That's what the facts are. When I say Donald Trump doesn't respect you, he doesn't respect anyone. Maybe if you have $1 billion, but I doubt it. The only person Donald Trump respects is himself. And that's the only reason he has any respect for his children, is because they came from him. So it's like him, it's like an extension of him. Dom Jr. Okay? And it's disgusting, and we have to do better. And if you're going to vote for someone who's disgusting, who has zero respect for you, zero respect for America, zero respect for the Constitution, and I mean Donald Trump or Joe Biden, why even vote? Are you trying to help ruin the country? Are you trying to give them the permission to use the Constitution like an asswipe? Because that's what they think of your rights. They wipe their ass with it and then rub it in your face. In case anyone was wondering. And if you don't think that's an act of sedition, well, you're not paying attention, baby. Okay, so, fuck you, Attorney General William Barr. Okay, so heat ray, wanting to use heat ray on protesters. Let's just start there, okay? Shall we?
A whistleblower has come forward saying a Defense Department official requested a heat ray to potentially use on those protesting near the White House back in June, peacefully protesting. The device makes people's skin feel like it's burning. These protesters were gathered at Lafayette Park on the same day that smoke canisters were deployed on them to clear the way for President Trump to do a photo op in front of a church across the street from Lafayette Park. The whistleblower here is D.C. National Guard Major Adam DeMarco. He testified before a House committee in June and provided this new information in a letter responding to follow-up questions from lawmakers. In it, he describes how and when defense officials asked if the Guard had a heat ray to use on protesters. We're joined now by Attorney David Loffman, who is representing Major DeMarco. David is also a former counterintelligence chief at the Justice Department. David, thanks for being with us. Tell us what motivated Major DeMarco to come forward.
He felt he had a moral obligation to come forward with information that was deeply disturbing to him in the first instance, the unprovoked use of force against demonstrators in Washington, D.C. at Lafayette Square who were peacefully exercising their First Amendment rights, a disproportionate use of force in those circumstances. Out of that hearing, out of his testimony, came follow-up questions by the committee, which resulted in the information he disclosed about the active denial system, or heat ray as it's known, and the pre-positioning of live ammunition at the D.C. Armory in the days after June 1st.
The pre-positioning of live ammunition. The Pentagon sent us a statement. They said that a military police officer informally inquired about a number of non-lethal devices as, quote, a matter of due diligence and prudent military planning. And then it goes on to say that the Joint Force Headquarters National Capital Region, quote, do not possess these systems, did not request such systems, and no further action was taken as a result of the officer's email query. What is your reaction to that?
Brianna, under what circumstance would it be prudent military planning to contemplate the use of a heat ray against citizens of the United States peacefully exercising their First Amendment rights in our nation's capital, of all places? Under what circumstances did someone think that might be a wise course of action? There's a lot of unanswered questions, and among them are, who was behind that request? In what situation did they contemplate the use of such a system? I'm not aware that such a system has ever been used domestically within the United States, and the U.S. military disfavors it outside of our borders.
I want to ask you, because of your background in counterintel at DOJ, we've heard a lot from the Attorney General lately, including he attacked his own department. He compared the rank and file there to preschoolers. I wonder, you have the background to tell us, what's the impact going to be on folks at the department?
Brianna, it has to be further dispiriting. Career people don't have a lock on good judgment any more than political appointees do. I've been a political appointee at the Department of Justice as well as a career attorney. But what they are entitled to do is to be led by an attorney general who is committed to the impartial administration of justice. And that means making rational decisions based on the law and facts, and not being a tool of a president bent on subjugating the Department of Justice to his political will and interfering in the ordinary course of justice to reward his friends and punish his adversaries. And this attorney general, day by day, continues to debase the office of the attorney general.
A source tells CNN that the AG wanted his Justice Department prosecutors to consider charging protesters with sedition. What's your reaction to that?
Well, the section I formerly led had a responsibility conceptually with, considering investigations or prosecutions for sedition. Not once would it have ever entered my mind or the mind of the attorneys working with me to contemplate charging with sedition, Americans who were exercising their First Amendment rights on the streets of American cities.
Sir, thank you so much, David. We really appreciate you being with us.
Thank you, Brianna.
Just right. There's my boo. There's my boo bear. So, here we are, a caroling along our merry way. I have more videos. I have so many videos tonight, you guys. I was just like, oh, we gotta do that one. Oh, we gotta do that one. Oh, we gotta do that one. And I have a video about, so Michelle was talking about, yesterday about forced hysterectomies being committed by ICE. And I found that to be very interesting. And I went out and looked for a story today. And it looks like, the Democrats are wanting to have a hearing, and the Department of Homeland Security the head of the Department of Homeland Security is ignoring a subpoena to testify in front of Congress. And I say arrest the motherfucker. You know, I mean, this is supposed to be the top law guy in the country. This is supposed to be, you know, one of the guys who, you know, oh, law, we're a country of laws and order. You know, I mean, fuck you. What, it doesn't apply to you? A subpoena to appear before Congress? The law and order that you fucking act as if you cherish? As if that's the spirit of this country? Law and order, not freedom and bravery? Fuck you. Okay? I'm really tired of this law and order bullshit. Okay? And then it not applying to the people who use it the most. You know, oh, we're a country of laws and order. Fuck you. You don't act like it. And if you don't act like it, why should the rest of us have to? You know, and my whole life, you know, again, I've been saying fuck you, fuck your laws. Okay? Fuck this country, fuck this government. Fuck this government. Not this country. I love this country. You know why? Because I can say, fuck this government. This government is such garbage. It needs to be burnt to the ground, and every single person that has occupied a position in the government for the last fucking 20 years has to go to prison, to make examples of them so that everyone who comes after them understands we will not accept scum like this ever again. And if you try it, there will be a penalty. Oh yeah, it's coming for you. We're watching. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us. Okay? And that's you know, I don't understand why we can't ever get justice. You know? I mean, you know, they get Jeffrey Epstein, and then he magically dies, and all the cameras magically didn't work, and the guards magically were asleep, and William Barr magically was in charge of the Department of Justice at the time when it happened. You know, and we've already explained that he was Jeffrey Epstein's lawyer for a little while. And even way before that, William Barr's father hired Jeffrey Epstein to be a teacher in a very exclusive private prep school, and in which he was hired to be a math teacher with 0 college credits. He was hired by Attorney General William Barr's father, and then William Barr, being Attorney General, on watch when Jeffrey Epstein died with no cameras anywhere. Coincidence? Coincidence, huh? Huh? I think not. I think not. And again, who picked Attorney General William Barr to be head of the Department of Justice, on which Jeffrey Epstein magically died? Who picked him? Figure it the fuck out! They're scum. That's all they know is slime and surrounding themselves with slime. Anything other than slime around them makes them very uncomfortable. This guy might be one of the fucking good ones. I just don't understand how anyone can possibly give any support to, people of such low fucking character, I'm just saying. Okay, so again, I will play a video here about the Department of Homeland Security ignoring a subpoena. This guy, this law and order. We're a country of law and order. I guarantee you will hear those exact words come from his mouth. Ignoring the highest law in the land, demanding that he appear before them. And they don't send a subpoena first. They say, hey, we'd like you to come and appear. And he says, no, fuck you. Then they send a subpoena requiring you by law to appear. And the guy who's the highest law in the land, the head of the Department of Homeland Security says, yeah, no, laws don't apply to me. That's just for fucking dweebs. That's for fucking peons and pissants like you, like the working class and the poor. Laws don't apply to me. Your little fucking paper. Get your fucking paper out of here. I don't need to see your fucking paper. Doesn't matter to me in the slightest. These are the people Donald Trump picks to surround himself with. That's the only people he can be comfortable with. How can you be comfortable with that?
Acting Homeland Security Secretary Chad Wolf has defied a subpoena to testify at a House hearing on threats to the United States. Wolf's chair was empty when the hearing started Thursday morning. Things have gotten tense between the Department of Homeland Security and the Democratic House Committee on Homeland Security. Just last week, a federal judge ruled Wolf is likely serving unlawfully as acting DHS secretary. Democratic Representative Benny Thompson said the proceedings will continue as planned with or without Wolf.
Mr. Wolf may attempt to evade oversight, and the department may try silly stunts to distract from this hearing, but we will not waver. The stakes are just too high.
Wolf's nomination to take the official secretary role is currently pending. For Newsy, I'm Caitlin Baldwin.
You support criminals, dude. Okay? And I'm not saying Joe Biden's a better choice. Anyone who's paying attention knows I'm not saying that. From the minute Joe Biden stepped into the ring, I said anyone giving Joe Biden the slightest bit of support is a fucking idiot. Okay? And everybody who's paying attention knows that. Not about what I'm saying, about fucking Joe Biden. About Donald Trump. He surrounds himself with the most slimiest people on the face of the planet. John Bolton, Chris Christie. These people are scum from the very bottom of their soul. Just like Donald Trump. Hello, caller.
Hey, Mark, how's it going?
All right, how are you doing?
Good, doing good, man, doing good. So I looked it up. I did a real-time fact check, right? And Bill Barr's father resigned before Jeffrey Epstein was hired. And that this shit is just being pushed on, like, MSNBC, like, what's that one guy, the Stop Hammering guy? And I'm like, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's still like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon or whatever to find. But that was like fake news.
Okay.
And, I'm just one more thing. Those were great rants.
Uh-huh.
But I'm still voting for Trump.
Yeah. Of course, you don't care if he's a scumbag. Right? Yeah, you don't care. You don't care if he's a slime. You don't care if he surrounds himself with slime. You don't care if he has the slightest respect for the Constitution. You know? You don't... just like anyone that would vote for Joe Biden. You don't care. You don't care. It's really sad that someone could not care about freedom. Okay? The people in the street are a proud American tradition. And anyone, Joe Biden, Donald Trump, Barack Obama, who has a problem with it, are the real scum on the planet. Okay? Because being able to go into the street in the proud American tradition and demand that our representative government hear our voices is a beautiful thing. And how could you think anything else unless, of course, you're a scummy fucking police state first cop sucker, right? So, good plan. Yeah, vote for fucking police state. I'm voting police state. I know you will too. Wow. Good plan. I'm voting pro police state. I can't wait to make it happen. I wish I had my ballot right now. I'd do it today. Pro-police state now. Pro-police state tomorrow. Pro-police state forever. Fuck yeah! Team America! World police! Fuck yeah! Is that what you're saying? Good plan. Good plan. Let's see. Oh, right. Attorney General prosecuting protesters with sedition. Let's try that one. Because I love seeing Americans exercising their rights getting challenged as if they're the lowest form of, this sedition thing is like some kind of like, oh, they're treasonous against our government. Yeah, I fucking hate this government. This government needs to be burnt to the motherfucking ground. Okay? It is garbage. It has zero respect for its people. It takes privileges away from them every day. It incarcerates more people than China and Russia combined. They're supposed to be the evil countries. And you just don't even get it. And they do it because they can make a profit off of it and control the population in disgusting, demented ways. Oh yeah, I'm voting pro police state. I'm voting pro police state. I'm voting pro police state. Won't you join us? Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. Pro police state now, pro police state tomorrow, pro police state forever. Fuck yeah. Team America, world police, fuck yeah. Right? Forever. I want to cement it into the Constitution. I never want it to change. Wow, good plan there, buddy. Okay, so where were we at? Right, right. Attorney General William Barr prosecuting protesters.
Hundreds of arrests have been made at protests against racism and police brutality across the country. And Attorney General William Barr wants to ensure arrests keep being made. In a private call with federal prosecutors, Barr reportedly told attorneys to bring federal charges against demonstrators even when state charges could apply. Barr also reportedly said he expects demonstrations to increase as we get closer to the election. Newsy's Jamal Andrus is digging into Barr's comments and joins us live from Chicago. Jamal, what sort of charges are we talking about here?
Well, Jay, what we've primarily seen so far are destruction of property charges, burglary, looting, those types of charges up until this point. Even on the more serious end, you may see assaulting a federal officer as something brought against protesters during this period of unrest, the use of explosives, even rioting charges. But these sedition charges are something new. these sedition charges are essentially an accusation of overthrowing the government, a plan, a conspiracy to overthrow the government. This carries a 20-year prison sentence in some cases. So I think it's important to mention here, this is a very high burden of proof. This is not a practical thing to bring charges against folks for, but it can be used as sort of a bargaining stick, as in, if you decide to not take this plea deal that we're offering you, we will bring you up on these charges that carry a very high prison sentence. And that is something that we've seen in the past, not in regards to protests, but just in regards to prosecutors as a general matter. But I think the broader point here, and what Attorney General Barr is getting at, is the idea that he does not want state charges and wants to keep this in federal court, because a lot of these cities and counties have progressive prosecutors, folks that campaigned on criminal justice reform, on decarceration, on lessening mass incarceration across the country. But he believes that these folks will get off with something that, he doesn't consider strong enough for the crime that has taken place.
Jamal, Attorney General Barr also reportedly is considering charges against Seattle Mayor Jenny Durkan. Why is that, and how is she responding?
Yeah, so the reports are that Attorney General Barr has directed his Civil Rights Division to explore whether charges could be appropriate against Seattle Mayor Jenny Durkan. Now, it's important to mention Barr has denied that he made these comments. This is a private phone call. We don't have audio of the incident. But Seattle and Portland have been huge targets of the president and of the administration more broadly. In Seattle's case, specifically the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone. This was sort of an area downtown Seattle where police were not being allowed in at a point. That was sort of the goal, for this to be an area that is free of police, free of the state, that was occupied by protesters. This is something that, again, was railed against by the Trump administration. And after several days and some violent incidents, Seattle police ultimately broke it up. But in the process, Seattle Mayor Jenny Durkan caught quite a bit of political pressure. One of the things she said is she called these comments chilling. And she said this is the latest abuse of power by the Trump administration. She also said, this is not a story about me. It's about how this president and his attorney general are willing to subvert the law and use the DOJ for political purposes. So I think this is something that we can most certainly expect the Seattle mayor to continue to speak out against. She went on to say the DOJ cannot become a political weapon operated at the behest of the president to target those who have spoken out against his actions. That is an act of tyranny, not of democracy. I think it's important to mention here, she's sort of alluding to some of the other actions by Attorney General Barr, i.e. interfering with the DOJ's investigation of Michael Flynn, interfering with the DOJ's investigation of Roger Stone. So there is some meat on the bone here for what the accusations she's making, despite these comments that have not necessarily been verified.
And just the latest example of a Democratic leader in a major city, again, clashing with the Trump administration with regards to unrest. Jamal Andrus. Thanks, Jamal. William Barr is also facing backlash for comparing the coronavirus lockdowns to slavery. He said that while speaking at Hillsdale College in Michigan last night. Barr went on to call the lockdown orders the greatest intrusion on civil liberties in American history. Of course, unlike the lockdowns, slavery was not meant to save lives, but rather to put black people in bondage to serve white people.
All right, so let's see what we got here. We got drones in Seattle. Drones in Seattle, baby. Okay, so again, I want these people to be fighting to defend people's rights. I mean, that should be what their job is, not trying to prosecute people in the street for speaking out. You know, not because the truth is Donald Trump sent in people with tear gas and pepper bullets and rubber bullets and used chemical weapons on protesters so that he could cross the street and hold a Bible in the air. And when he was asked if it was his Bible, he looked at it and said, "It's a Bible." And what, all the little evangelical heart just went pitter patter, pitter patter, pitter patter. Is that right? Because he held a Bible. Oh. All right. Let's see. I have more videos. Here we go. We were talking yesterday. Our buddy Michelle from Texas was talking about forced hysterectomies being committed by ICE. And it sounds like to me a forced sterilization thing, which is a disgusting thing that governments do, out of control tyranny governments do, because they think they can get away with anything. They have forced sterilization. China's doing it right now to Muslim Uyghur population, from what I understand. And apparently this government is doing it also. And this government has a history of doing this. So it's quite disgusting, and the people who's watched these things happen on should be held accountable, should go to prison for crimes against humanity, just like George W. Bush and Dick Cheney, and Barack Obama and Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton, of course. There's no difference. I don't know how you can think that there's a difference. This is all just ramping up of the police state from day one, from September 12, 2001. It's just ramp up of the police state. That's it. Take away freedom, anybody who stands in the way is anti-American and should be charged with sedition. Anybody who stands in the way of us taking away your freedoms, who speaks out about us spying on your children, who acts like war profiteering is a disgusting and vile scourge on this planet that should be eradicated like the worst kind of parasites that have ever existed. Those people, they are a danger to freedom. And you buy this shit. You actually believe that bullshit. Wow. Forced hysterectomies. There you go.
Democratic lawmakers are calling for an investigation into claims that a high rate of immigrant women held at a detention center in Georgia underwent hysterectomies, some against their will. A nurse who worked at the Irwin County Detention Center filed a complaint that also accused the center of not testing people for COVID-19 and destroying medical records.
Americans need to know what happened to women and girls in these detention facilities and, if verified, who is responsible for pushing these invasive medical procedures. And if these horrific reports are true, we as a nation have an obligation to bring those responsible for this unquestionable violation of human rights to justice.
The U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement's medical director denied the claims of mass hysterectomies and said only 2 women have been referred for hysterectomies from the facility in the past couple of years. He said detainees are afforded informed consent, and a medical procedure like a hysterectomy would never be performed against a detainee's will. For Newsy, I'm Caitlin Baldwin.
So I guess we will find out. I doubt we'll find out anything. But after Michelle brought it up again, they call them forced hysterectomies. In another word, forced sterilization. And I think it's pretty low on the humanity scale when it comes to crimes like that, forced sterilization. That should get everybody riled up. And I'm glad Michelle brought it up yesterday so I could keep my eyes open for it and bring you a little bit more information on what's happening with that story. And hopefully we will see congressional hearings, because there should be these people, Congress's job isn't to make laws to take away your freedom every day more and more and more. To give this fucking disgusting powers like the Pentagon and the CIA and the NSA, the ability to spy on your children. Congress shouldn't be doing that. Congress is supposed to be doing oversight of those agencies to make sure that they're not doing things like spying on your 12-year-old cell phone. Because there's people in this government doing that to all of your 12-year-olds who have cell phones. So you know. And it's disgusting. And if they can't find better things to spy on, I don't know how you can want this government to exist. Okay? I love this country. I hate this government. I hate it with every fiber of my being. I despise it. I can't. It just filled with war profiteers. And in my opinion, those are worse than vampires. These vampires stop in the daytime. These people don't ever stop. And the only people that ever will stop them are you and I. But you want to buy into division, that somehow these people are the good ones. These are the ones that are better than those. Yeah, that doesn't work anymore. How many more generations are you going to allow them to sell you into that slavery? That somehow that side is better than this side? Because that's where we're at right now. So, and I have, let's see, here, let's talk about, I have a video about, in Southern California, they're saying that the police are being accused of forming gangs. And one of the police gangs is called, supposedly, the Executioners, according to this story. So I found that very interesting, and I thought that you guys might want to see that. But I'll save that for a minute. And the Attorney General Barr also today, another thing that's blatantly obvious, he called Department of Justice career attorneys, he called them preschoolers. He compared them to preschoolers. And this is like a bullying tactic. When people are committing crimes and doing things that they know they're not supposed to be doing, they start saying, oh, they're acting like children. Like they don't know how the fucking game is played. Grow up. What are you, preschoolers? Because somebody's saying, hey, that's not the way this government works. Somebody who's slimy like fucking Attorney General William Barr would be like, yeah, grow the fuck up. Because he is such a disgusting slime ball. Exactly like the people that nominated him. Don't you know?
Back here at home tonight, and we're going to turn now to the FBI director, Christopher Wray, on Capitol Hill today, grilled on the president's claims of voter fraud. The director was also pressed on what Attorney General William Barr said overnight, calling some of his own prosecutors at the Justice Department preschoolers. And the AG also comparing lockdowns during a pandemic to slavery. Here's our Chief Justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas.
Tonight, despite President Trump repeatedly raising concerns about the potential for mass voter fraud, the FBI director telling Congress he's seeing little evidence of such.
We have not seen to date, a coordinated national voter fraud effort in a major election.
But what he is seeing is hard evidence of the Kremlin meddling in the U.S. presidential election again, targeting Vice President Joe Biden and using social media to sow discord. He also said the FBI is investigating whether Iran and China are trying to meddle as well. The FBI director was asked about the threat of white supremacists at home. He said lone domestic radicals are the deadliest, with white supremacists being the largest group.
Within the domestic terrorism bucket, racially motivated violent extremists over recent years have been responsible for the most lethal activity in the U.S.
Ray also asked about Black Lives Matter.
Have you seen any excessive violence that can be attributable to Black Lives Matter?
I can't think of one sitting here right now.
Ray also responding today to combative comments made by the Attorney General overnight. William Barr reminding all DOJ employees they work for him and comparing some to preschoolers.
And as I say to FBI agents, whose agent do you think you are?
I will say we, the FBI, work for the American people.
Barr also showed his utter disdain for the leaders of Black Lives Matter.
They're not interested in black lives. They're interested in props. A small number of blacks who were killed by police during conflict with police, usually less than a dozen a year, who they can use as props to achieve a much broader political agenda.
And when talking about lockdowns in the pandemic, Barr invoked slavery.
You know, other than slavery, which was a different kind of restraint, this is the greatest intrusion on civil liberties in American history.
David, some current and former prosecutors were offended by Barr's comments, especially those comparing them to preschoolers. David?
All right, Pierre Thomas, thank you.
Okay, and I also have a video. You see people there on the street in Rochester. And yesterday, one of the callers was asking about Utah and why there's not protesters on the street in Utah over this 13-year-old autistic boy being shot. And I thought that, so I wanted to point out that there's a Utah feed here today is Provo. I'm not sure how close. I think Provo is pretty close to Salt Lake, but I'm not positive. But again, we have seen protesters in the street in Salt Lake before, and I don't know if we've seen Provo before or not. But it's always good to see the people in the street and dancing. Because they're dancing in the street again in Rochester. It's a beautiful thing. Only in America. Oh, and by the way, I was going to say the Rochester police, I have a video about that in which it claims that the Rochester police is trying to hide evidence. About the shooting of Daniel Prude. Yeah, yesterday I was calling him Purdue. It's Daniel Prude. I apologize for that. And they're dancing. They're dancing. And they're dancing in the street. Go, baby. You go, baby. I wish we had a little more light on that. He is getting down. There we go. That is a much better picture. Your wish is my command. Look at that. Nice. Go, baby. Tear up that asphalt. Again, I am so threatened right now by the people in the street. Aren't you so threatened? Don't you just feel like your heart beating faster and you don't know what's going to happen next? Because they're dancing. And it's so scary, huh? It's so scary to see the people dancing in the street, isn't it? Oh my God. We have to get the heat ray guns out. We got to get them out now. Of course they want the heat ray guns. Look at these people. They're insane. We got to get those heat ray guns out now. This is your fucking government, people. They want all the police forces to have these heat ray guns now and deal with these people. Enough of this shit. Deal with this. It's disgusting. This government is disgusting. And it has to go one way or another. The easy way or the hard way. It's up to you all. And the hard way is not going to be pretty. So you know. So I was talking about how I have a video about police gangs. In Southern California, the police are being accused of forming gangs. One of the gangs is called the Executioners. And I thought that was important information that you should know about. So I'll play it for you now.
Tonight, the Los Angeles County Sheriff says there are new leads in the search for the gunman who ambushed 2 sheriff's deputies. Sarah Seidner is out front.
5 days after 2 Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputies were shot in an ambush-style attack, investigators are still in a desperate search to find the man responsible.
Detectives, I've spoken with them recently, and they're confident they're on the right path. They're making progress.
The surveillance video shows the gunman shooting into a squad car and the heroics of the 31-year-old deputy and mother who helped save her 24-year-old partner after both are shot multiple times. Now her partner is out of the hospital, but her wounds are too severe to allow her to be discharged. At the same time the manhunt intensifies, the sheriff's department's handling of a radio reporter outside the hospital is now under investigation by the Los Angeles County Inspector General. Josie Huang clearly identifies herself in video, but the sheriff questions that and says she was too close to the action.
She claimed that she said KPCC, but if you claim you're a reporter, by that point, you're already being handcuffed.
She was there covering this small group of people outside the hospital, one calling for the death of the wounded officers. The relationship between the sheriff's department and the community of Compton is a strained one.
Well, you don't know if either to trust them or not to trust them.
The recent deputy shooting of Dijon Kizzy after trying to stop him for a bicycle violation sparked anger. Sheriff's investigators say Kizzy was pointing a gun at them, but his attorney disputes that claim. Over the years, so have accusations that the department's deputies formed their own gangs, including new accusations of a deputy-formed gang called the Executioners in Compton.
There are no gangs within the department.
But in the same breath, the sheriff tells Aaron Burnett the investigation into deputy gangs is not over.
But you're saying that investigation has concluded and there is no alleged gang.
Oh, no, we have not concluded that investigation. We're taking positive action. We did an investigation at East Los Angeles Station that resulted in 26 employees being either disciplined or terminated.
That happened in 2018 after a deputy-formed gang called the Bandidos was involved in attacking younger deputies in a brawl. The alleged deputy gangs or cliques are accused of sporting similar tattoos.
I'm absolutely sickened by the mere allegation of any deputy hiding behind a badge to hurt anyone.
But some residents say they want more sheriff's deputies in their community and are sickened by the shooting.
I feel sorry for the families and for the officers that happened to, but you know, it's kind of hard because now instead of looking at a person as an individual, it's like if you're in a uniform, you're no good. And it's the same as they feel if you're black or you're brown walking down the street, you're no good.
Sarah Seidner, CNN, Compton.
Thanks to Sarah and thanks to all of you.
Okay. All right, let's see. So we're back, and we got Michael from Southern California on the phone. What's going on, Michael?
Hey, how you doing, brother?
I'm good. What about you? You feeling better?
Chilling, not in a bad mood, not in a good mood, just kind of watching the show. I thought you had some pretty supreme sarcasm going there about the government wants to deploy heat rays on dancers, on seditious dancing.
Yeah.
That's pretty supreme sarcasm, dude. But unfortunately, it's true.
It's disgusting. I can't believe that this is the government and that people somehow support it.
Yeah, the police state is here, and it seems like it's not going to go away voluntarily. So I'm kind of at a loss. Other than pushing back, I'm at a loss to know what to do about it, because the media is pushing the, between the forest fires on the West Coast and they burnt a courthouse in Tennessee, and they did this in New York, and they did that in Minneapolis, and then you got the guy in Kenosha, and people are getting shot, and the media just pushes the fear. There's a revolution. We got to stomp it, and so the government is both influencing the media and influenced by the media. So this is what you get. You get a leaked memo. What is that, about 2 months old, when they wanted to deploy the heat weapon in Washington D.C.
Yeah, let me think. It was I think it was in August when that happened, but I'm not positive exactly what day.
Yeah, well, this is the way your government thinks. It's like, we rule you. Get out of the streets. Do what we say.
Right.
And don't make any waves. You guys are lesser human beings. We are the government, and you do what we say. And then the great pushback is, no, we are human beings. The government is here to serve us, and we don't have to do what you say if it's immoral, illegal, or infringes on our rights. And so they say, the government and the people that support the government, they say, oh, well, you have avenues to address your grievances, and you have to take us to court, and then it'll take 4 years to get to the fucking Supreme Court. And I think the general way the public feels about that is, fuck you. We are going to get the attention of the population and say, hey, yo, shit's fucked up. The government is too big. The police state is too big. Stop restricting our freedoms. And this is the way we do it, by going out into the street. And yes, there's truth on both sides. Yes, there's been some riots. Yes, there's been some shootings. Yes, there's been some burnings, and lootings. But generally, like you say, that's 1% or less of all the things that are happening in the street. But I think if you let that government have their heat ray weapon, and you deploy it, they will burn everybody. Reporters, innocent bystanders, shop owners, protesters, dancers, children.
They had their, that's what they're doing with the tear gas. They're, you see in Portland, they just flood the streets with it. There's stores there. They're, filled with merchandise. There's apartment complexes there. We watch them, people driving by getting just surrounded and their cars filled with tear gas. It's disgusting. And and in Portland, they also had those LRAD trucks out on the street. A couple of times they were pointed out by the people in the street. And those things are, that's a sonic weapon that's designed basically to burst people's eardrums. And that's that's a very scary thing to put out on the street. That's a pretty fucking big threat.
I think globally, if you analyze the entire global revolutionary situation, all the protests in all the countries, so far, with the exception of Israel does whatever it wants, but with the exception of Israel, the major crowd control weapons are tear gas, water cannons, which have not been deployed in the United States yet that I know of, and rubber bullets and flashbangs. Those are all over the planet. Those are the police weapons to suppress the population, or any kind of dancing that they don't like. So they want to up the game. We're saying stop using a lot of those weapons and retrain your police forces in the United States. And other countries are doing the same thing. Middle Eastern countries, South American countries, European countries are doing the same thing. They're saying, stop punishing us for addressing our government in this way. And so 2 cities that I know of, Seattle and Portland, have made some kind of inroad into changing the police tactics, systems, regulations, and limitations. And those are
That girl just brandished her gun. You see that? She's got a gun on her hip right there. And
oh yeah, where is that? Arizona. Okay, that's open carry. Arizona. Crazy-eyed little girl with a MAGA hat. Ah, MAGA. She didn't brandish it. She just pointed it out. Brandishing is when you. That's why.
well, she
that's why
kind
they
of
never
highlighted the fact that she's wearing a weapon. Like, hey, look at this. You know,
Yeah.
That's my opinion. That's brandishing. But I get you. I mean,
Yeah.
you're saying that it has to be a concealed weapon to brandish it? Is that what you're saying?
No, brandishing is when you pull it out. As long as you keep
No,
it in
that's
your
not
holster, it's
brandishing.
yeah. So that's why all the gangsters, they pull up their shirt and they show you they're armed, and then they put the shirt down. Otherwise, they could be charged with brandishing. As soon as you pull that fucking weapon out, it's brandishing. And so the guy in Kenosha who got his bicep blown off by Kyle Rittenhouse was already brandishing. It wasn't self-defense on his part. He literally pulled his gun out and chased that guy Kyle down the street. And Kyle, well, I don't even want to get into that rat's nest, but the point is, all over the world, the population is rising up and protesting, and in America, so far they haven't broken out the water cannons, but in other countries, like right now, in at least 2 South American countries, and at least 1 European country, they use water cannons regularly. You know, it's a non-violent weapon. You know, it's a non-lethal weapon. And, you know, watching these revolutions for the last 10 years, I noticed one bit of humorous thing is that fucking, when there's a riot going on or a protest and the government of Turkey, let's say, pulls out their water cannon and they start water cannoning their civilian population, all the dogs in the street, they think it's a game, and they run up to the water cannon with their mouths open, and they want to get shot in the mouth like a dog does with a hose. You know, they think it's a game. And yeah, this is a legitimate pushback against the police state worldwide. Different methods all over on both sides, and just the rhetoric of pulling out death rays and LRADs is too much. It's the police state pushing back. So everything that's happening in the street, including the dancing, is legitimate. Of course, you've got open carry states where people are doing this and doing that. And I just hope everybody's serious about what they're doing, and it's not a game to them. You know, let's really get serious. And because there is a police state, it is overbearing. DHS is overbearing. Our rights have been eroded to the point where there would have been a revolution if we were, long ago, if we were mindful of our Bill of Rights or anything else. And it all started, it didn't start with, but it really came to fruition with Bush Jr., who ushered in the Patriot Act. And here we are. Patriot Act is still in effect, and now they're talking about death rays. And, you know, I don't want to be microwaved by my superior government officials. You know, we're from the government. We're here to help. Press the red button. Beep. You start getting microwaved, you know. So it'll never happen. If it does, I think we're both in agreement that the population will fucking explode. Explode. The moment they use one of those weapons, the population will explode. People on the fence will no longer be on the fence. They'll be in the street, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's what always seems to happen, is every time they step up their aggression, you know, the people flood the street even more.
Yeah. So when you see Craig, mention to him whether or not he wants to have an epic rap battle with the absolute virgin of rap, Mikey B, the supreme leader of the White Rap Federation. And we'll see what happens. I got to be in a good mood to do it because I've never rapped at all. But and I'm in a pretty kind of sour mood. But mention it to him because every time I get him on the phone, I just I'm doing something and I forget to ask him. You know, so.
Okay.
I mean, I think people might dig it a little bit, you know. Have a little comedy along with the serious news stuff, you know.
I'm all about art, dude. You know, if that's something Craig wants to do, I'm, you know.
Well, he did it with Dr. Whisper.
Oh, did he?
Or
good.
somebody, I don't know. Steve McClanahan. He did it with Steve, and it didn't work out too well. But it gave me the idea, hey, man, I'll do that. I'll do the rap fucking thing. I'll try.
Okie doke. Well, we'll see what we can make happen. We'll do a big old WWF thing.
Yeah, man. Let's just, you know, it's the end of the world. Let's have a good time.
You know, that's the whole thing. I mean, I'm gonna, you know, make the best of what's still around.
Yeah, well, there's lots of good shit. You got your garden. I got my garden. I kind of stay away from society and arguments as much as I can. And, you know, I'm just trying to pay the fucking bills and make it through the apocalypse with a larger heart, a larger brain, maybe a little bit more compassion, and more bravery and information. That's and keep my boat afloat, my little boat. I want to keep it afloat because we're going to be seeing the effects of the financial effects of the COVID-19 bailout and the fight back and the push and the restrictions and the mask shit. And, you know, I'm going to eventually walk into some place without a mask and make the people confront me and just tell them, you know, I'm sorry, I have a medical exemption. Well, blah, 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 blah. Well, call the police if you think I'm breaking the law. Police come, and then I got to talk to them, and I'm going to do it eventually. And that'll be my little way of keeping cool and making a point. So, you know, we're going to see a big pile of shit way past the election. I think you're right, man. The elections are going to be hectic. Things are going to accelerate. And the media, media is going to be culpable party number one.
Media is building up for it, up for the expectation of it right now. They're setting the stage for all of it.
Yeah, even I can see that, and I don't pay that much attention to the election bullshit, you know. But, you know, I guess Donald Trump is on the campaign trail, and he's doing this and doing that, and then people are saying he said this, and he didn't wear a mask, and he waited too long, and you know, he hates Chinese, and blah, 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 blah. But they ought to be concentrated on this fact that, on whatever, you know.
He doesn't hate Chinese. He fucking hates everything. But, you know, these people want a war, okay? And they want a bigger war than, I guess, one with Iran. Although, if you start one with Iran, you're going to start one with China anyway. So maybe that's just part of the... Yeah, maybe that's just part of the provocation is, you know, that, well, we'll start fucking with Russia. China. Well, they've been fucking with China forever. Barack Obama fucked with China plenty.
Yeah, and we kind of lost sight of the fact that just a couple of months ago, they attempted to kill the president of Venezuela with a drone bomb, and the Juan Guaido thing where they tried to march some troops across the border from Colombia, and he, you know, Juan Guaido, the CIA-backed puppet, you know, tried to, you know, create a big shitstorm in Venezuela, and they cut off all the toilet paper and other supplies to Venezuela, and that's, you know, they say war is just politics by other means, and so are cutting off the supplies to countries and the embargoes. This is just politics. They don't mind, you know, we think it's worth it. 500,000 children, we think it's worth it. So that's what the New World Order does. That's what the military-industrial complex does. They wage war on countries all over the world, and by doing so, apparently they prop up the U.S. dollar, and something's got to give eventually. because we are flat broke as Americans. And I agree with the isolationist policy. I agree with getting America to produce everything it needs within its own borders. We don't need French caviar. We don't need anything like that. We can produce everything we need, all of our marijuana, all of our food and produce and steel and cement and everything. You know, the one thing, you know, with Donald Trump, it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. At best, sometimes it's 1 step forward, 2 steps back. And the Bahrain deal and that charade is another example of that. He's not a geopolitical strategist. He gave fucking Netanyahu the key to the White House. If that doesn't tell you we are a country that is owned by Israel, what's it going to take? The key to the White House. You give the prime minister of another country the key to the White House, and that doesn't mean anything. That means everything. Everything. I don't even know if that's ever been done in history before. And Thomas Jefferson and Andrew Jackson would have shot Donald Trump just for doing that. So, fuck the New World Order. That's what I think. Fuck them all, man. Fuck Israel. Fuck all the traitors. Fuck the LRAD people. Fuck the water cannon people.
Fuck the police state. Okay, all those things you're saying, that's the police state. This is what I keep telling you. It's not just America. I'm just really concerned about America, but the police state is like Alex Jones was right. It's a prison planet. Okay? Yeah. And if nothing else, he was right about that for sure.
Yeah, he sure was.
And you know, and we can do better than that. The people, the working class people, the good people deserve better than that.
Yeah, a lot of people who had their YouTube channels eliminated, they went to different platforms. One of the platforms that I've been looking at is called Brand New Tube. And they have all kinds of stuff that would have been eliminated on YouTube. And it's untouchable as far as I know by Google. And so I'm putzing around on Brand New Tube, seeing what's there and subscribing to different channels and stuff. And, you know, if they control your information, they control your history. And if they control your history, they control your present. So information is the key to figuring out what's what on planet Earth. And like I said before, there's a conjunction, an intersection between the military-industrial complex, APAC, which is the largest lobby, the pharmaceutical industrial complex, and the media complex, you know, the bought-off, paid-for media complex. So they're trying to control us on this prison planet by hitting us from 5 directions at once. So we're just spinning around. We don't know where we're at or who to believe. And I do, because I do the research. But I'm open to any new idea. I'm not, like, locked into a mindset where you guys are bad and I won't accept any information. Usually I'm way ahead of those people. So I can see it's astroturfing long before other people know it's astroturfing. But you're right. Alex Jones was right on a lot of things. Oklahoma City, prison planet, lots and lots of things. Of course, he's not the right spokesman for people who want to kind of keep it
sane.
You know, say what?
Sane?
Yeah, sane. You know, it's like, he hit his head when he was a kid, and it's showing, you know, just like Joe Biden is showing, you know. They're going to wheel Joe Biden out in a Star Trek wheelchair with, you know, a fucking voice box. And, you know, he's got a mind control chip in his head. And, yeah, I'm your new president, and we must take care of Donald Trump, and we have to bring Americans together. And
well, you know, he probably won't give Netanyahu the key to the White House, right? So
no, Joe Biden sucks Netanyahu's dick just as much as Donald
I don't think that's
Trump,
possible.
You know. Well, yeah, I mean, Trump is blatantly stupid when it comes to Netanyahu, but they might have something on him. You know, he might have loans from Jewish bankers, or he just grew. I mean, the guy that taught Donald Trump was named Cohen. I can't remember his first name, but he was a Jewish mafia guy. He taught Donald Trump. He took him under his wings and taught him everything he knows about the New York real estate and how to get along and which politicians to bribe and how you do this and how you do that. And so all of Donald Trump's life, he's been hooked into Zionists. So if you tell Donald Trump, hey, Israel planned out 9/11 10 years in advance, and you give him all the information, Donald Trump's going to throw you in fucking jail or just ignore you. So Donald Trump is the ultimate Zionist, the greatest friend Israel has ever had. You know, give him the key to the White House. Fuck those people. And you know, it's no joke. Your country was taken over by Israel a long time ago.
Well,
and AIPAC should have been.
It's this government. It's not the country's been taken over. It's this government. It's these people who sell their soul for a little bit of power and money. So, and that's what I'm saying. You know, that we can do better, and if we can't do better than Donald Trump or Joe Biden, then this country is really fucking messed up, dude.
Well, we're really fucking messed up, and the bravest thing we can do is to look the truth in the face and do whatever we can to fight the system. You know, I don't care if it's not wearing a mask or disobeying this law or that law or just spreading information. Either way, you're contributing. So, yeah, that's where I'm at, man. It's like I'm just as lost as anybody else. The only thing I got going for me is I'm a halfway decent researcher, and I'm an absolute fucking rebel. Before I knew anything, I was disobeying the law. So I grew up knowing at least that much. It's like, fuck you, man. I do what I want. This is my life, you know. It took me my whole life to realize, oh, I own my life. You know, oh, yeah. The government's not going to crawl into my grave with me and face God at the pearly gates and, oh, St. Peter, the government's here to speak up for me. It's like, no, I'm the only person who can live my life, protect my life, and crawl into my own grave at the end of my life. Nobody else is with me, just me. No woman, no friend, no government, no group. It's just me in the universe. With the ability to stand up. That's all it is. And if we get together as individuals, fuck, we could change the world. But we got to get together. So that's so mention that to Craig for me, okay?
Okay, I'll let him know.
Okay, take care, brother.
All right, talk to you soon.
Bye.
And that's our buddy Michael from Southern California. Let's see, and there's a little bit of stuff going on the browser, but it's on the protest page, but it's a little slow. It's chill tonight. I can't see what it is that's happening there with the red and blues. I'm gonna go to this other page real quick, see what we got there. It looks like I can't. Doesn't look anything like anything big is happening. All right, so I have. Let's see. I have a video about police. About Donald Trump assaulting. There's a new charge about Donald Trump assaulting a model in 1997, and the only thing that really bothers me about these people coming out 23 years after the fact is that, if you had been brave enough to say something in 1997, you might have stopped Donald Trump from ever becoming president. But even more than that, you might have stopped him from assaulting other women. So I really hope that women these days who feel as if they're being genuinely assaulted, this guy is trying to, force me into a corner. Just punch the guy, just bloody their fucking lip. Give them a black eye, break their nose. Okay? And then people are going to be, what happened to you? What happened to you? What happened to you? Well, I was trying to rape this girl, and she threw a fucking elbow into my fucking mouth. I would highly recommend that. You know, again, lips, eyes, nose. It will make a difference not just for you moving forward, but for other women who come after you. You know, there's a good chance that this predator will think twice before, you know, acting as if women are completely defenseless. Because they are not, but they can choose to act like it.
Another woman has accused President Donald Trump of sexually assaulting her back in the 1990s. In an interview with The Guardian, Amy Doris says she was just 24 when the president forced his tongue down her throat and groped her at the 1997 U.S. Tennis Open. He was 51. The Guardian corroborated her story with Doris's mother, several of her friends, and her therapist. Newsy was not able to independently confirm the details. Jenna Ellis, a Trump campaign legal advisor, tells Newsy the allegations are totally false and that the campaign is considering legal action against The Guardian. She said it's just another attempt to attack the president before the election. The president is also involved in a defamation lawsuit after denying allegations he raped E. Jean Carroll in the mid-90s.
Sometimes life can be a little overwhelming. Sometimes the weight of the world can be too much to bear. Sometimes you need to stop worrying and take a deep breath. Sometimes you need cannabis. Introducing Brightside, high-quality cannabis delivered right to your door. Brightside offers an extensive menu of strains and products to meet your needs. Choose the experience you want, and we'll send you the dankest herb, the real sticky icky, some top-shelf marijuana. If you like what we send you, keep the whole jar. We'll even include some nugs for you to blaze. As part of Discovery, you'll get to try new strains and products. Side effects may include euphoria, increased appetite, uncontrollable giggles, elevated sensitivity to musical dopeness, and reduced anxiety. Tetrahydrocannabinol may also induce feelings of existential well-being and relentless optimism. With a Brightside subscription, you can get it once a month, once a week, or whenever you want, all at a price you'll like. And yes, this is a real company.
Do you know who I am?
You're the wizard.
Ask your doctor if cannabis is right for you. It probably is. Keep it Brightside.
You think we send people, you think people go to brightside.com after watching our show? I've been there. But they don't deliver to my neighborhood. They don't deliver to my neighborhood. Let's see. Let's see. If anybody wants to call, the number is 805-669-6397. I have 3 videos left to play for you. One of them is about the white supremacist threat in this country, the growing white supremacist threat. And I have one, again, about police trying, Rochester again. There's people in the street here in Rochester, they are dancing. And this is about, I have a video about the police trying to hide evidence in the murder of Daniel Prude, who was naked in the street having whatever kind of mental episode he was having. He was naked in the street and in need of assistance, And when the police showed up, he wound up dead somehow. So, and apparently the police are trying to hide evidence in this case, according to this news story, which I thought you guys should see.
Officials try to withhold information about the death of Daniel Prude in Rochester, New York, according to newly released documents. Emails show leadership within the police department were worried about public backlash after the attempted arrest in March. Officers had put a spit bag over Prude's head and pinned him to the ground while trying to restrain him. A week later, he passed away, and his death was ruled a homicide caused by complications of asphyxia in the setting of physical restraint. Rochester's mayor fired the city's police chief after an investigation into the incident showed police commanders and other officials sought to mislead the public and did not take Prude's death seriously.
So for the world to see him in that state versus the way that I saw him and my family saw him, it hurts me.
Prude's family has also accused authorities of a cover-up. For Newsy, I'm Therese Garnier.
And that was his daughter, Daniel Prude's daughter, that they showed there. And she's been very outspoken on this case. And I'm really glad to see how strong she is. You know, it's good to see strong people being able to speak their mind. And I hope that we see a lot more of her. She seems like a very on-the-ball person. So let's see. Again, I have 2 videos left. We're down to 2 videos left. If you want to call, now's the time to do it. The number's right there on the screen. It's 805-669-6397. 805-669-6397. 805 Mox News. So, and again, the people are in the street in Rochester. They have now been there every night since the murder of Daniel Prude. And it's thanks very much, Chris. That's very nice of you. Again, they're standing up against the comply or die police state. And so I find them to be very brave, and to see them dancing and keeping a good attitude, you know, is a wonderful thing. And I wanted to give you, let's see, one last look at our lovely desk flower here. I told you we'd grow this, we started this on this lovely lady. Her seed was put into a peat pod on July 2nd, and today is September 17th, and we will be chopping her down tonight. So I wanted to give you one last look at her before she goes into her drying cell, her drying compartment, her drying cocoon. Because she's a pretty girl. She's a pretty girl. She is. Yeah, she's a pretty girl. And we'll look forward to having lovely golden goo from her in the next month or so. In the next few weeks. That will be so nice. And that's in a 1-gallon pot, so you can see it was just kind of a demonstration of here's what we can do on our desk space. So hey, thanks Chris and Isaac. That's very nice of you guys. So this is my little flower for this evening. This is the desk flower that I told you guys we were going to grow over the last couple months. We'll start another one, and I think we can grow another desk flower. I'm trying to consolidate down to 1/10 for the moment. I just want to get my technique down. I'm a little upset about my technique. I think I need to do more training and more I got to get my nutrients down just right. So But one of these days, I'm going to get it down. And then look out, world. Look out, baby. Okay, so we have 2 videos left. I will play one for you now about the aftermath of Hurricane Sally. Because, again, it looks pretty nasty. Thanks, POS. That's very nice of you guys. I really appreciate it. Again, Hurricane Sally, the aftermath.
Remnants of Hurricane Sally turning deadly now. Flash flood watches and a tornado threat at this hour. And Rob Marciano from the Storm Zone tonight.
Tonight, more than 24 hours after Sally made landfall on the Gulf Coast, rescuers still bringing trapped families to safety. This after hundreds had to be saved from high water Wednesday, many by the National Guard. Hurricane Sally was a beast, 105-mile-per-hour winds and feet of rain. Tonight, the true scope of the damage is coming into view. Families now salvaging what they can from damaged homes and businesses.
This marina is just a mess. You've got docks eating into the sides of boats, sterns and bows of boats crunched up against each other. Millions of dollars in damages in this area alone.
Sally knocking multiple barges loose in the Pensacola area. Brian Godudo's family was riding out the storm in their brand new home when the water started rushing toward them.
She looked back and it just was coming down like a waterfall from the backyard, and she grabbed the kids.
Brian cutting down this fence to divert the water away from the house.
It just came out of nowhere.
In hard-hit Orange Beach, Alabama, at least one person killed, another still missing.
It's been mighty bad, and our state is reeling just as our people are hurting.
Now what's left of Sally is spreading through the Carolinas, with up to a foot of rain falling in parts of Georgia and down trees all over the Atlanta area.
I was awakened by, it felt like a dumpster being dropped in my yard.
This huge oak crashing into 2 cars. Thankfully, no one was hurt. Tragically, as Sally approached, one person was killed by another falling tree.
Rob with us live tonight from Atlanta. And Rob, this isn't over yet.
It's not. You see what it did here in East Atlanta. Now it's heading through the Carolinas, and we still have a tornado watch that's posted. Check it out on the radar scope. Not only that, but heavy rain that's moving up through Virginia, D.C., even New Jersey. Flood watches are posted for those areas until Sally moves offshore, at which time we may meet up with our next storm, which is Teddy. Now a Category 4 storm is going to make it run up Bermuda on Sunday night, and then maybe Canada. And here's a wide shot of all the action. Look at the Gulf of Mexico. A good chance of seeing this next one to develop, and that one will be close to home. We'll be watching that one over the weekend. David?
All right, Rob Marciano, thank you. Multiple nights of great reporting. Thanks, Rob. Tonight in the West, firefighters are racing to shore up containment lines before dangerous weather returns. Crews in the Angeles National Forest are putting out isolated hotspots near the observatory on Mount Wilson. In Oregon tonight, heat and storms are in the forecast along with the threat of lightning. They are on alert for more troubling weather there.
There was in yesterday in the park, 2 people in the park where they had the CHOP, the Seattle Occupy protest, the no cop zone in Seattle. 2 people died yesterday in the park, and I don't know if this is where they're at there in Seattle or not. And I don't know exactly what's going on in Arizona, but it does not look like it doesn't look like a Black Lives Matter protest. I'm not sure what's happening there. But whatever. I have drone videos to play. Not that one. We'll play this one. Okay, so again, I am down to my last video. So if anybody wants to call, now's the time to do it. Otherwise, thank you very much, Chris. Again, I forgot to thank you on the last one. That was very nice of you. This is very nice of you. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's very, very nice. And it's always nice when anybody donates. And I wouldn't ask you guys for help if I didn't need it. So it makes a world of difference for me. You know, it lets me know that you guys appreciate what I'm doing and that you want me to keep it up. If nothing else, right? Thank you, POS. That's very nice of you too. It does make a world difference when you do know that people want you to keep it up and that they appreciate what you're doing, because there's a lot of people seem not to appreciate it, not to appreciate exactly what's happening here. But I love the drone videos. We'll have more drone videos next week. I know Craig's got a couple of new ones that we haven't posted yet. So we'll have more drone videos next week, and I really do enjoy it. You know what my favorite ones are when they're chasing a boat. I really like the ones where they're chasing a boat, right? Those are really cool looking. That one at the lake with the guy like kind of surfing the wave behind him, the crest of their wake. That was pretty cool. Okay, so I guess we'll play the last video here about the white supremacist threat in this country. It's almost as bad as the fucking tigers. Oh my god. Fucking tiger, you mean fucking tiger? I don't see any fucking tigers. No fucking tigers. Ah, fucking tiger! Yes, the white supremacist threat is devastating in this country. And people need to learn how to deal with it. People have to be prepared. My whole life, you know, I don't know. It's so strange to see, you know, it's just everything is a threat. It's fear. You know, the terrorists are going to get you. The protesters are domestic terrorists. The white supremacists are the domestic terrorists. But naturally the cops, they're not terrorizing anybody, right? The cops aren't terrorizing anyone when they're forming their gangs called the executioners. Yeah, the cops aren't terrorizing anybody and acting like they can get away with it. No, they're not the terrorists. It's the people in the street. The people in the street, they're the problem. Let's see. It's very nice of you, Chris. I really super appreciate it, man. Let's see. What else do we have? And if anybody else wants to donate, it's easy to do. There's that super chat button there right below the chat. It's easy. You can just smash the fuck out of that. Chris has proven that. If no one else, Chris has proven that. Chris D has proven that this evening. You can smash that super chat button again and again if that's your choice. Or you can, there's clickable links in the text body of the video. There's clickable links in the chat. And you can go to moxnews.com if you'd like to give something back and encourage Mox to continue on another day. Otherwise, what's going on in Arizona? Those are Trump supporters wearing masks? Trump, what is happening? That's crazy. Wow. Wow. Hey, could you turn around for a second there, Shug? Is she yelling at cops? That looks very interesting. I bet it's a very nice evening in Arizona. It looks like a nice place to be. I've never been to Gilbert, I don't think. I'm not sure where Gilbert is. Is that on the... Is it... Hey, Chris. I can't stand stepping on slugs. I walk everywhere barefoot, and there's slugs here in the Northwest. And I like get them, like, oh no, and then like stick to your foot. You're like, oh, gross. And you like scrape it off your foot, and you're all barefoot, and it's all like squishy, and it feels like it leaves like some on there, and you gotta scrape harder to get it all off. It's disgusting. I hate stepping on slugs. Thanks, Chris. It's very nice of you. Okay, so where were we, people? Right, we're down to our last video. And they're dancing in Gilbert. And she got her little mini megaphone. Here, you can use my little mini megaphone. It doesn't have COVID-19 on it, I promise. What does that say? Matter. Oh, Black Lives Matter. Good. Nice. Fuck yeah. Fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them. Does it say Black Lives Matter or does it say Blue Lives Matter? I wonder what that said. Something lives matter. Probably Blue Lives Matter. It was being followed by the Confederate flag. It's so weird that, these people are somehow flying the Confederate flag with the police, When I was growing up, the Confederate flag stood for rebel. It was like a rebel thing, like the Dukes of Hazzard, right? They had the car with the Confederate flag painted on it, and they were always, the police were always after them, and they were always outsmarting the police. So it's weird now to see, the Blue Lives Matter people always having a Confederate flag that they're flying with them. It's very strange to me. Because they ain't no rebels. If you a copsucker, you ain't no rebel. That's a motherfucking facts for sure. So, I have one more video about the white supremacist threat in this country. The ever-growing, never-ending white supremacist terrorist threat. Terrorist. Don't forget about the terrorist. The terrorist. Everybody's a terrorist now. Every motherfucking one of you is a goddamn terrorist, according to this government. And if you ain't paying attention, if you don't know that, you are not paying attention and don't care about the facts. Every single motherfucking one of you is a goddamn terrorist to this piece of shit government. And anybody with the slightest bit of awareness knows it. Hello. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, is this Mark?
This is Mox.
Hey, Mark, how's it going? This is Manny.
Hey, Manny, how's it going, man?
I'm good. Just keeping calm over here in the east side.
Eastern Washington?
Yeah. It's very foggy over here.
Very what?
It's very foggy.
Oh, a lot of smoke? A lot of smoke?
Yeah. A lot of smoke. You won't think, and it's actually French. You won't think it will be hotter up here, but it's kind of like, okay, not that bad, actually. The weather is, besides weather, it's just too much fog, too much smoke.
Yeah, there's a lot of smoke here, too, Manny.
Oh. Well, the good thing about Seattle is it rains a lot over there, so hopefully it will clear soon.
Yeah, there should be some rain pretty soon coming through.
Hey, so I was reading the news. I don't know if you heard about this, though. A few days ago, Black Lives Matter protest, they stopped they actually closed the Ballard Bridge. And then they went to a Trader Joe's and they said they wanted to close it down, though, in Ballard. You know what the Ballard neighborhood is?
I know the Ballard Bridge. What about it?
Yeah, they actually went and tried to close the bridge, the Ballard Bridge, by the 99 highway over there. And they got arrested, though, and they were towed away in their cars as well. Like, a lot of cars were towed away, and the people at the Ballard Bridge got arrested, though. But they also went into the Trader Joe's in the Ballard area, the Ballard neighborhood, and they tried to occupy a Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
Because apparently Trader Joe's are not willing to open in their poor neighborhoods, though.
Trader Joe's what?
So they're blaming Trader Joe's for their food choices, for not having healthy options. No. What they don't understand is that Trader Joe's follows the money. So they're not going to go to West Seattle. They're not going to go to the white area over there where there's a lot of poor people. These people are dumb. They think they're like Trader Joe's, are a bunch of racist supermarkets not willing to sell them fresh food to poor people. It's not that they're not willing to sell them because they're like discriminated or something like that. They're not willing to sell them food because they're poor, because they don't have any money. Trader Joe's will open a store if they see money on it. So they're not going to move to West Seattle because they don't see money on it. They won't move to Bellevue. They won't move to Medina. They won't move to, I don't know, Ridge.
They're like fucking everywhere. Fucking Trader Joe's everywhere in Seattle, man.
But yeah, these people, these protesters, they think that Trader Joe's is discriminating against them because they're not opening in the neighborhood stuff. It's not about that, though. It's the whole reason why they're not opening in the neighborhood is because there's no money to be made over there in the neighborhood. They will follow the money. They don't care about their color of their skin. They don't care about their ideology. They don't care about whether or not they support Black Lives Matter or like I don't know, whatever police thing is going on. It's all about the green money. And I think there's a bigger issue with these collectives within the Black Lives Matter movement. So if you actually go into the website and read their manifesto, this is not just about Black people's lives, though. They also want to dismantle capitalism or something like that. They're blaming capitalism for everything that happens to them. When it's not the case, though. Yes, there's some class issues going on, but it's not the root of the problem, though. And I think if Black Lives Matter focus their issues from the color of their skin to social class, things will be more clear and they're going to be able to move forward with their ideals and they're going to be able to move change. Because this is not about racism. This is about social class issues. Though. They're poor because they don't have opportunities. Though, because the government or whoever is in power are not providing education to those poor people. Though. There's no social mobility. This is why we have a lot of problems, folks. This is not about race. It's all about class.
Okay, Manny. Thanks for calling. I'm glad you're doing okay. Good to hear from you.
Okay. All right, then. Take it easy.
Talk to you later. And that's Manny. He's calling from the east side of Washington. Sounds a little bit smoky over there. It's a little bit smoky over here, too. There's no doubt about that. It's definitely a little bit smoky over here. And it needs to change. We can't be smoky. We can be a little bit smoky, but not like this. So hopefully we'll be getting some weather here real soon to make a difference for all of us on the West Coast. Okay, so let's see. Again, I have one video left. If anybody wants to call, you can. Now's the time to do it. Otherwise, we will be out of here momentarily. But again, the protesters continue on. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. And with the Attorney General threatening them and calling them horrible names, I'm sure there'll be more and more protests growing bigger and bigger. So as the election nears, I don't see this slowing down. So you know, that's just my take at the moment. You know, these fucking windbag, fucking empty threat paper tigers, you know, need to be shown for the paper tigers that they are. So, you know, fuck the government, fuck Attorney General Barr, fuck Donald Trump, fuck Joe Biden. We've got to do better than this. We've got to do better than this garbage. And anybody who wants to tell me, oh, things are horrible here, things are horrible there, well, it's horrible on Donald Trump's watch. So, you know, the buck has to stop somewhere, right? It's unfortunate that people don't want to make it stop with who it belongs to. Hello, caller.
Oh, hey, Mark. I just want to mention, now that you mentioned all the terrorists, and this is something that I was thinking in the last few days. Okay?
Uh-huh.
You know the Attorney General, but he made some comments a few days ago about treating the protesters as sedition. Okay, that actually makes sense, though, because a lot of these protesters were trying to protest against the system, which it's fine if they do it peacefully. If they go to the streets and they do it in the proper way by, you know, expressing their concerns, that the representatives of the changes. But a lot of the protesters, the Black Lives Matter protesters in Antifa, especially in Portland,
Hey Manny, you're cutting in and out. You're gonna have to tell us later, okay? Because this isn't working. The phone.
Okay, man.
Okay, talk to you later. And I don't want to just have the phone call go on and on with nobody be able to hear it. So let's see. It's I have one video left about the white supremacist threat in this country. Terrorists. They're coming for you. They're everywhere. Every one of you, every one of your neighbors is a potential terrorist in this country. Didn't you know that?
7 days from Election Day, and today FBI Director Christopher Wray told Congress Russia is still trying to interfere. Its focus to ruin Joe Biden's chances.
An effort to both sow divisiveness and discord, and primarily to denigrate Vice President Biden and what the Russians see as kind of an anti-Russian establishment.
But the president has downplayed reports Russia is trying to help his campaign. Democrats and Republicans also pressed Wray about right and left-wing extremists, asking which side posed a bigger threat of violence to the country. He avoided making a judgment, saying the FBI doesn't look at ideology, but who's planning violence instead.
Within the racially motivated violent extremist bucket, people ascribing to some kind of white supremacist type ideology is certainly the biggest chunk of that.
Okay,
I don't
that's
have
very
numbers
helpful.
for you.
That's very helpful. So the white supremacists are the largest chunk of the racially motivated domestic terrorists.
But let me also say, that, and I would also add to that racially motivated violent extremists over recent years have been responsible for the most lethal activity in the U.S.
President Trump has repeatedly downplayed white supremacist violence. A whistleblower from the Department of Homeland Security even says he was ordered to make the threat posed by white supremacy appear less severe. Former FBI Director James Comey is set to testify before the Senate Judiciary Committee later this month. That's according to Chairman Lindsey Graham. The committee is looking into the FBI's investigation into Russian meddling in the 2016 presidential election. A committee aide told Politico Comey's testimony will be public. Ahead, good news.
Sorry, I had to run downstairs. Okay, so my dog is under the water. Actually, he's under the desk here. Everything looks pretty chill on the streets, and I've given you the summary of what I have for you this evening, news-wise. So anyways, we do this every Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. So that means we'll be back here tomorrow, same Mox time, same Mox channel. I hope you will tune in then. Be sure and hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell if you have not already. That way, because we could go live at any given time. If there was some type of an event that was happening, we would certainly go live so that we could all have a discussion about it as it's happening. Event. an actual event, not what the Attorney General and the President seem to claim are terrorist events. Because they're fucking garbage who want to spread that word like it fucking, like it has no value or meaning whatsoever. Hello, caller.
Hey, Mark.
Hello.
Hey, this is Manny. How's it going?
Okay, Manny.
Can you see me better now?
Yeah, but I'm leaving, Manny. I don't want to talk right now.
Oh, okay. So
okay.
I want to finish my thought.
Okay, I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you later, Manny. It's good to want. It makes you leave the house. Other than that, we will be back again tomorrow night, Friday, and who knows what will happen. Maybe we'll do a giveaway. You never know. I think Craig is talking about doing some kind of giveaway. We're working on it. So we'll be back tomorrow, same Mox time, same Mox channel. Until then, stay cool, because one of these days this war is going to end.
No matter which mouth you feed on a two-headed snake, it still shits the same turd. But lucky for you, you have Mox News. More than 10 years. More than 60,000 videos. Mox News has been filtering the nonsense and illuminating the bullshit from your mainstream media. Turn off your TV and turn on to Mox News. For over a decade, documenting the socio-political events that have etched and carved the pathways that define today's modern mess, Mox News has been providing clarity while faithfully bringing you today's relevant stories 100% commercial-free and subscription-free. And just like Lady Liberty vows to remain free. But at this time, we're asking you for your help, your patronage, and your support to keep the lights on and the videos rolling. For less than 17 cents per day, you can become a basic subscriber, knowing that your donation is truly making a difference that will help continue bringing the news stories that make a difference in your life. Turn on, tune in, and drop a couple dimes today by clicking the link below or visiting moxnews.com and show your support at any level. From a single one-time donation or dedicated monthly subscriber, do it now in less than 2 minutes. All donations are safe, securely processed, and verified using PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover Card. As always, we're sure you'll find something of interest each and every day. This holiday season, give the gift of Mox. moxnews.com.